Hello, students. Since some of you have asked, I will be continuing to read to you The Starving Time by Patricia Hermes, okay, with permission from Scholastic, okay. And before I begin, I want to apologize if you hear my dog Daisy in the background. She's currently playing with her squeaky toy dinosaur. So, if you hear squeaks, that's what's going on. So we were about halfway through when we left off, and so when we left off, um, we knew that John Ratcliffe and the other leaders of the town came up with some plans. They were planning on going to the Powhatan Indians to bargain with them for corn. Now remember, the Indians at that time were not very friendly because the colonists at Jamestown had not been friendly to them. And at the same time, we hear that Master Bridger, remember that's John Bridger's father, he is planning on taking his family and a group of men and leaving and making his own settlement. Okay, so we are now going to continue on to see what happens, all right? So, December 12th, 1609. I have looked everywhere for my lost acorn, dish, and cup. Perhaps I dropped them and a squirrel took them. There are few squirrels about, though. If one appears, it is quickly caught and cooked. So where are my tiny dishes? Remember, she'd been making tiny dishes out of those cups, and she lost some after she was creating them last time with one of her friends. December 14th, 1609. Well, more news. Today the party set out, but Master Bridger did not take his family with him. He says he will return for them when their new dwelling is complete. I do not blame him for leaving them behind. I would leave them behind too. We have allowed them enough food for 3 days. It is all we could afford to give. Even so, says Papa, there is nothing left in the storehouse. I do not mind at all that Master Bridger is gone. I cannot wait till he comes back for those loutish boys. That means not very nice. Remember, Elizabeth doesn't like the Bridger family. December 15th, 1609. Today, Papa and I went to the collier's cabin. They need to patch their roof, for it leaks awfully. Francis and I climbed up to help, but first I tied my skirt like pantaloons. That's what they used to say for pants. So she tied her skirt up so it looked like she was wearing pants. Francis is such good company, and we worked well together. As we worked, Francis told stories, for he is a very fine storyteller. His stories are always about food. Today, he told such a story I could taste the food. He had roasted duck on our plates. He made us breads and butter and duck drippings and root vegetables and corn puddings. Oh, I felt I was in heaven. And then Mistress Collier did shout up at him. She said, "This is not conversation that we can bear." We finished our work in silence. So remember, everyone's hungry, and so he was telling a story about food, and he got in trouble for it. December 16th, 1609. I can hardly write. I am sick. I have the flux. It is awful and embarrassing. Mamma says perhaps it is from the crabs. We kept them too long. We hope that it is the crabs. We hope that it is not a disease that is causing so many to die. I feel as though I shall die. That night, Baby Abigail is so sick. So it is probably not the crabs. Mamma is sick also. Only Papa is well. He cares for both of us. He cares for the baby too. He brings me broth and about the only food I can have now. He calls me Sweet Beth. That makes me feel a bit better. Still, I feel as though my insides have been turned out. December 17th, 1609. Everyone is sick and sicker. It is sweeping over the whole fort. Papa brought word from the Dobsons. Mary is as sick as she can be. I wish I could go see her, but I cannot. I cannot even stand. December 18th, 1609. I am a tiny bit better tonight, but so weak. December 19th, 1609. Remember how I said I was thinking up a plan? I lie here, still weak, but my thoughts run away with me. And this is what I think. I think I should go find Pocahontas. She befriended us at the fort. She brought gifts. Maybe it is because Captain Smith is gone that she no longer comes. But if she knew our illness and our hunger, would she not help us? I believe she would. Her father, Chief Powhatan, was good to me. I am close in age to his daughter. Perhaps if I go, he will again share food and gifts with us. December 20th, 1609. I told Papa my thought about Pocahontas. His voice got very stern. He said I must not even think it. The Powhatans are angry with us. It is not safe to approach them now. Inside my head I shout, but it is not safe here either, Papa. We are dying of sickness and hunger. Later that day. I have never disobeyed my Papa before, but I am thinking about it now. December 21st, 1609. I recover slowly and have a bit more strength. Mamma is much better, but her cough lingers on. Baby Abigail is very weak. Mamma went to see the Dobsons. She brought me a message from Mary. It is this: I think that I might live. Will you? I sent a message back. I said, I am just a teeny bit alive. Later that day. Just when everything seems most bleak, there is a break. A party of 11 men have left to go hunting. They think they shall be safe, for no one has seen any Indians in weeks. We think perhaps the Indians have left for their winter grounds. The men will also look for the Bridger party and for John Ratcliffe's party. They have not been heard from in weeks. To help keep the hunting party safe, they have taken some young boys with them. Francis Collier and John and Thomas Bridger go. Writing the names of the Bridger boys almost makes me gag. The reason the boys go is so they can climb trees. They will see danger from up high. They can also see game, deer perhaps, or even bears. Our spirits are lifted, though I worry about this. Papa is going with them. I pray for their safe return. December 22nd, 1609. They have been gone for a whole day and a half a day. More and more people are sick. There must be 50 people lying on pallets in the sick shed. 5 died overnight. Mamma works so hard to help, I fear that she will fall ill again. Even her face is thin. Baby Abigail is weak. She does not cry. She just stares at me now. And Papa has not returned. December 23rd, 1609, in the morning. Today, Mary and I tried to stop thinking about our bellies. We pretended to have a big dinner. We came up with a list of words to say how we felt. Here is our list. Full, stuffed, satisfied, satiated, replete, happy. But I am still hungry. So they tried to come up with all of these words to trick themselves into thinking they were full, but it didn't work. December 23rd, 1609, that night. Just a quick word. Papa and the men are back. They brought fish. Not much, for the river is frozen, but it is food. We are so happy. They did not meet up with a single Indian man, but they also have not found the Bridger party, and there is a rumor about that John Ratcliffe and his men have been slaughtered. We fear that they are all dead. I will write more after we eat. Later. We have eaten a bit, some fish, a handful of dried berries, and saved much. December 24th, 1609, morning. Just a bit of food has made me so much stronger. All day, Mary and I worked on our canvas bags. I sewed a tiny leaf on one and a sprig of pine on the other. They are very pretty, though I must say, I am not very good with stitchery. Oh, you should see the terrible rough stitches. But it is hard to sew canvas. I could have painted the bags red with my very own blood. I stuck myself so many times. But they are finished, and Mama and Papa will be happy. The doll is the sweetest thing ever. I stuffed it full of pine needles. I painted such a sweet, sweet face for it. I used the ink that I do use here in my journal. It is a smiling face with big eyes and long eyelashes. Abigail will love it when she is well again. I also made a surprise for Mary. I tore off a bit of ribbon from my petticoat. I washed it and laid it in the sun to dry. Then I sewed it to a tiny square of canvas along with a dried flower. It will make a pretty picture to brighten up her house. Christmas Eve in the night, 1609. The church bells rang at midnight. It was the first time in weeks that we have heard them. I think folks are too weak to think about prayer service. But it was good to hear the chimes. The first thing I did upon awakening was send thoughts to Caleb. I sent them on bird wings and wished him a joyous Christmas. I told him I could not wait till he joins us come spring. Christmas night, 1609. Papa and Mama had gifts for me. Papa made me a tiny whistle from a reed. He showed me how to play a tune on it. It will take much practice. Mama gave me a slender red ribbon. She had brought it from England and had saved it for me all this time. I shall lay it across these pages to mark my place. Mama hugged me when I gave her my gift. Papa cried, but I knew they were happy tears. Mama also had a small meal for us, more food than we have had in a while. We had a thin fish broth and a bit of dried cornmeal made into patties with roasted acorns. There is only one thing that made me sad today. Baby Abigail. She can hardly hold up her head any longer. She does not cry. She does not grab and hold my finger. Today, she would not even look at her doll. I held it out to her. Her eyes seemed dull and glassy. The New Year, January 1st, 1610. Oh, the most awful thing. Today, I went to my hidden place by the well. I was praying for good things that this new year might bring to us. Suddenly, Mary came and sat down by me. Her eyes were red from weeping. I thought at first that it was mean John Bridger, but then she told me her mamma was dead. Just like that. At supper, her mamma said she felt unwell, and then she lay herself down, and she died. What kind of illness could strike so fast? I did not know what to say. I looked at Mary, and then I put my arms around her. She cried in my arms like a baby. I cannot write more. So now this next note from Elizabeth says winter, maybe February. So everything has just been so tough now that it's winter, with a lot of people getting sick, that she hasn't been writing every day, and so now she doesn't know what day it is. Men are leaving the fort, and women too. They just wander off some days and do not come back. It is said that some have gone to live with the Indians, but we do not know that for a certainty. And perhaps some have been killed by Indians or by wolves. Our numbers are smaller and smaller. We wonder when the supply ship will come. We know it cannot cross the ocean in winter. We have many months to wait until spring. Again, February, I think. There is no longer anyone in charge. There are no meetings. There are no work days. There is nothing of our common life. Just us, hoping to make it to spring, hoping to make it till the supply ship comes. I am hoping to make it till Caleb comes. I do not know how long we can go on. The next day. I have not seen Mary in many, many days. I have also not seen Francis. Mamma says that Francis lies ill in the sick shed. She will not let me go see him. She is afraid that the sickness is catching. Also, Mary has not recovered well from her mother's illness and passing, or from her own illness. She sends me messages, though, through Mamma. She tells me she misses me something awful. I miss her too. She is the happiest thing that has happened to me since Jessie left. A cold, cold day. Today, I came upon a stranger standing by the well. It was a girl, a very, very thin girl. For one wild moment I thought, Pocahontas. But, of course, Pocahontas is not thin and frail. And then the girl turned to me. It was Mary. But she is so thin, so wispy looking, that I truly did not recognize her for a moment. We fell into each other's arms. It was so good to see her again. Right away we began talking. We talked and talked and talked. I feel so much better tonight. Talking to a friend makes you feel full up. It is almost as good as having food to eat, but not quite. All right, and that's where we will stop for tonight. Well, for me, it's tonight. All right, so I will continue more in another video later, okay? I hope you enjoy this reading. I want you to think about what might happen and think about what would you do if you were in Jamestown at this time. All right, until next time.